Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the bid opening of two Pacquiao contracts, and afterwards the pre-bid conference for the goods and services, and also for the civil works. So to start this procurement, may we all stand for the prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we bow before your presence today with faith, humility, and thanksgiving for the chance to meet again. As we prepare to start this procurement activity, please send your Holy Spirit to guide us, and may fill us with the wisdom and confidence as we conduct this activity. May you grant us the patience and understanding to remain resilient to life's challenges and face them with grace. In His name we pray. Amen. Once again, good morning. May I introduce you now to the members of the bank, headed by our bank chairman, Attorney Gans Rimando, our bank vice chairman, Engineer Arturo Preposi, and one of the bank members, Engineer Wheeler Lindsay. For the technical working group, we have Engineer Romel Ibay, and for the Secretariat, Renier Salinas, and also our IT support, headed by Sir Bon Kamit. Sir, majority of the bank members are present. There's a quorum, sir. Thank you, Renier. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So, as much as we have a quorum, this proceeding for the bid opening of Pacquiao contracts and credit conference letters now put to order. So, before we formally start, may we again acknowledge the presence of our participating bidders and our prospective bidders for the contracts. Also, if we have any attending observers in here, let us also acknowledge the presence. For the observers, as of now, there are no attendees, sir. For the pre-bid conference, we have for 25 GA 00008, the supply and delivery of Geotechnical Rotary drilling rig, including accessories for DPWH General Office 1. We are from Ridley and Tarala. We have Mr. Jigar Gauswani, Sir Ray Dasu, and Ma'am Pamela Agapao, Agapito. And also from MJA, Senate Trading, Ma'am Mary Ann Torres. That's also. All right, so we first start with the opening of our Pacquiao contract. May I request our technical working group to best bring up submit that. But for the submitted bid for 25 PA 0001 and also for 25 PA 0002, we have a known bidder, sir. Right? Let us submit that proposal. For the preliminary examination of Pacquiao system for contract ID number 25PA 0002, a loan bidder, EJ Ordonez Group, passed the preliminary examination of this Pacquiao system. And the total amount of bidders rent is 168,200 pesos. The overall rating for EJ Ordonez Group passed. For 25PE 001, for the preliminary examination of this Pacquiao system, we have EJ Ordonez Group passed the preliminary examination of this Pacquiao system. And the total amount of bidders rent is 168,200 pesos. The overall rating for EJ Ordonez Group passed. That's all for the two Pacquiao contract.
Thank you. May we now request our technical working group let us conduct the detailed evaluation of the submitted proposals of EJ Ordonez Group for both contracts. Further, may we request our secretariat let us present now the project details, the requirements, and the schedule for the two goods for our private conference.
For our previous conference, we have 2 goods and services and 3 for the civil works. So to start, we start with the 2 goods and services, namely contract ID number 24GA00056, the supply and delivery of spare parts and consumables for the maintenance of equipment fleet in DPWH Regional Office 1. 25GA00008, the supply and delivery of Geotechnical Rotary drilling rig, crawler type, including accessories for DPWH Regional Office 1. So here are the contract data. For contract ID number 24GA00056, location San Fernando City, La Union, with the funding source SR 2024-01-001873 and SR 2024-01-001801 with the ABC of 1,449,656 pesos and 67 centavos. The scope of works is the supply and delivery of spare parts and consumables for the maintenance of equipment fleet with the contract duration of 20 calendar days. 25GA00008, location San Fernando City, La Union, with the funding source Barrios Iao, with the ABC of 50,700,000. For the scope of works of the supply and delivery of Geotechnical Rotary drilling rig, crawler type, including accessories, with the contract duration of 120 calendar days. So for the technical requirements, we have the Class A document, legal documents, valid PDF certificate of registration, platinum membership, all pages. Records of all its ongoing government-private contracts, including awarded but not yet started. Records of single largest completed contract for the SLCC, similar to the contract. Adjusted to the current price using PSA current price index. Should there be contract amount equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC, a contract shall be considered similar to the contract to be bid if it has the same major categories of work. Original copy of bid security in the form of the surety bond. Submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration and conformity with the technical specifications, which may include production, delivery, schedule, manpower requirements, and or after sales parts, if applicable, and original duly signed omnibus sworn statement. And if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of the corporation, partnership or cooperative, or original special power of attorney, all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the omnibus sworn statement and do acts to represent the bidder. For the financial documents, we have the audited financial statement, stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. We have also the NFCC or the line of credit, computation of the NFCC of at least equal to ABC computed using prescribed formula, wherein the NFCC equals current assets minus current liabilities times the K factor 15 minus value of unfinished projects, including awarded projects not yet started, coinciding with the contract to be bid, or a bidder may submit a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in view of its NFCC computation. For the Class B documents, it's for the joint venture, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the joint venture agreement in the instance that the bid is successful. For the financial requirements, we have the original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule. For the form of bid security, we have the bid validity period and bid security validity period to be 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. The bidder shall submit a bid security declaration or any form of bid security enumerated below. We have the cash or cashier's manager's check, bankrupt guarantee, or the revocable line of credit is 2% of the ABC, while the surety fund is 5% of the ABC. For the bid evaluation, the financial component of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid prices. The bank shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. The following factors are to be considered in the evaluation of the bid prices: the completeness. No price required item equals non-complying, indicating a 0 or a dash equals paid to the government. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including where applicable BOQ, shall be considered non-responsive. Arithmetical corrections, bid prices in figures versus the words prevails. Total price versus unit price per item, the unit price prevails. Total price versus actual sum of component items, the actual prevails. Unit cost in detailed estimate versus unit cost in BOQ, the latter prevails. If above ABC is considered non-complying. For the post-qualification, it's the verification of your legal requirements, licenses, certificates, permits, non-inclusion in the blacklist. Technical requirements, we have the single largest of completed contract, similar to the contract. Performance in ongoing government-private contracts, delay in the partial delivery of goods amounting to 10% of the contract price in its ongoing government-private contracts. If any of these contracts shows the bidder's failure to deliver or perform any or all of the goods or services within the period specified in the contract or within any extension thereof granted by the procuring entity pursuant to a request made by the supplier prior to the delay, and such failure amounts to at least 10% of the price, or unsatisfactory performance of the supplier's obligations as per terms and conditions at the time of inspection. Liquidated damages currently imposed on the supplier. Authenticity of bid security for the financial requirements with the audited financial statement, especially current assets and liabilities, up-to-date value of all outstanding or uncompleted works under ongoing and awarded contracts, updated NFCC or line of credit versus the ABC. For the contract award, the contract shall be awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated and responsive bid as a result of the detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. A successful bidder shall be notified through the issuance of the notice of award within the bid validity period and must be confirmed by the successful bidder in writing within 10 days upon receipt in accordance with the section 37.2.2 of this 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. Here are the common reasons for rejection of bids, ineligibility, and post-disqualification of bidder. Late bid. No letter of authority from the company to submit the bidding documents. Failure to submit supporting documents to support compliance with the requirement. Submitting forms not acceptable pursuant to the provisions of the revised IRR of the RA 9184. NFCC less than the ABC or the amount of credit line commitment is less than 10% of the ABC. For bid security shall depend callable on demand and a validity of 120 days, not inscribed in the bond. Failure to submit original copy of the surety bond certified by the Insurance Commission, indicating the name of project, the procuring entity, and name of contractor. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. Bid prices higher than the ABC. Delaying the partial delivery of goods amounting to 10% of the contract price in its ongoing government private contracts. So for these projects, 24 GA 00056, 25 GA 00008, the deadline for the submission of clarification is 10 days before submission of bids. The deadline for submission of bids is on July 21, 2025 at 10 o'clock a.m. Number of copies of the proposal, one original copy of the technical and financial proposal, and the place of submission of bids. Bids and Awards Committee, second floor, conference room, DPWH Regional Office 1, City of San Fernando, La Union. So we go to the specification. Percent.
You hear a comment from the presented technical and financial documents requirement from our perspective here. Wala pa. Alright, so let's present the specs for the drilling rig.
So here is the technical specification. We have representative from the QAHD to answer any queries. We have Engineer Analisa Simangan and Engineer Gabriel Lane Salvosa. And also the chief of the QAHD. We have Engineer Arturo Picoso. So for this specification, we have the supply and delivery of Geotechnical Rotary training, rig, crawler type, including accessories for DPWH General Office 1. We have the main equipment, components, specification. For the engine, we have the water-cooled diesel engine, power with electric starting system or its equivalent or better, and fuel tank is made of stainless steel. For the drill type, we have the preferable drilling rig mobility shall be of crawler type and in single unit built in with the main framework of the rig or its equivalent. Drilling capacity at least 60 meters or its equivalent or better. Drilling mast, hydraulic powered, rotary head stroke at least 1,800 to 300 to 800 millimeter or better. Pull up, pull down capacity at least 2.5 kilonewton or better. Drilling water pump system, preferably built-in water pump system with water mud recirculation system or its equivalent or better. Type monocylinder, double acting or its equivalent or better. Discharge capacity is 200 liters per minute. Discharge pressure is 4 to 6 megapascal. Pulley speed of 530 revolutions per minute. Drill head and feed system, top drive rotary head, torque capacity at least 4.5 kilonewton per meter, kilonewton meter, or its equivalent or better. Rotary speed of at least 900 revolutions per minute or RPM or its equivalent or better. Clamp system, clamp diameter 44 to 220 millimeter or its equivalent or better. Clamp force at least 8,000 DAN or its equivalent or better. Breakout torque at least 9 kilonewton meter or its equivalent or better. Here are the accessories, specification, drive hammer, anvil, and hammer trap system shall be compliant with ASTM D1586 or with JGS A1219 or its equivalent. Hammer should weigh at least 140 plus minus 2 pounds, 63.5 plus minus 0.5 kilogram or its equivalent or better. Drop hammer fall should be 30 inches, 750 millimeter or its equivalent or better. Hammer drive system, hydraulic hammer for dynamic sampling, automatic SPT, and triplex water pump compliant with ASTM D2113. Split spoon sampler shall be compliant with ASTM D1586 or with JGS A1219 or its equivalent. The sampler should be made from strong materials such as hardened steel and must be equipped with a ball check and vent or its equivalent or better. Open drive should be made of hardened steel which can penetrate both soft and dense soils or its equivalent or better. Shall be thin-walled sampler. Shall be able to gather and recover samples of relatively intact soil samples using thin-walled tube sampler in compliance with ASTM D1587 or with JGS 1221 or its equivalent or better. Thin-walled samplers shall be in conformance with windowless sampling or its equivalent or better technology. Rock core sample shall be able to gather and rotary drilling with direct circulation or water or mud. Auger drilling and rock core drilling in compliance with ASTM D2113 or its equivalent or better. Preferably wireline double, triple tube, core barrel sampler or its equivalent or better technology. Should be able to provide high core recovery or its equivalent or better. Core barrel length should be at least 1.5 meters or 5 feet or its equivalent or better. Rock coring bits, diamond coring bit with reaming shell for hard rock drilling or its equivalent or better. Tungsten carbide coring bit for soft rock drilling or its equivalent or better. Other drilling tools and accessories per 1 unit of geotechnical rotary drilling rig crawler type shall be compliant with ASTM D2113 and DCDD-ME or its equivalent. AW rod 1.5 meters, 25 pieces. AW rod 1 meter, 25 pieces. SPT tube sampler 4 pieces. NQ head assay, head adapter. AW box to NQ pin 2 pieces. NQ hoisting plug, pulling plug 2 pieces. NQ rod 1.5 meters 40 pieces. NQ overshot assay wire line to assay. NQ double tube for barrel assay 1.5 meters to assay. NQ impregnated core bit 4 pieces, NQ diamond reamer shell 2 pieces, NP stabilizer 2 pieces, and W casing head 2 pieces, and W casing 1.5 meters 40 pieces. Casing show bit 4 pieces, water swivel 2 pieces, water swivel hose 3/4 inches by 10 meters 2 pieces, 5 wrench 24 inches 4 pieces, 5 wrench 36 inches 4 pieces. Complete tool set for maintenance of drilling machine 4 sets. PPEs set of 25 pieces for Geotechnical Rotary drilling rig, namely hard hat, protective vest, and working gloves, eye goggles, 4 sets. 20 liters capacity of engine hydraulic oil per drilling machine for each. Fire extinguisher of 4.5 kilogram for each. Other requirements must consist of standard parts and accessories with necessary consumables good for a minimum of 5 years. Shall be supplied with manufacturer's certificate of calibration, if available, applicable, with attached standard technical compliance document, certificate of technical compliance for technical specifications is signed or certified by the manufacturer. The supplier shall be an authorized distributor of the manufacturer. The supplier is required to provide a minimum of 1 year warranty on factory defects and warranty of on-site for parts and labor on all equipment and associated components. The supplier is required to provide local technical support through telephone and email 8 hours per day. It is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 5 days a week, Mondays to Friday, with a response time of fewer than 4 hours upon receipt of incident request. Problem resolution shall be next business day. The supplier is required to provide preventive maintenance for a minimum of 5 years. The supplier shall provide an equipment manual and data evaluation software if applicable. The supplier shall provide training with a certificate on the equipment operation, maintenance, and troubleshooting. A specification of equipment must be indicated and reflected in the original brochure, manual, or technical papers that can be downloaded or reflected in the website of the manufacturer. Items shall be delivered in 120 days upon receipt of the notice to proceed. Items must be delivered directly to individual assigned officers. So that's all, sir, for the specifications.
Thank you, Secretary. Do we recommend or clarification on the presented specs for our respective suppliers? Yeah, here microphone now, or
Can we use the mic now for the questions?
Good morning to everyone. I'm from MCN, Regulatory Sales Executive. Regarding to its technical specification page number 33, from the quantity, which is the other drilling tools and accessories, then tungkol sa complete tools, may be 4 paragraphs from below. Baba. Yan. Clarify ko lang po kasi iba po sa isang drilling machine, 1 set per tools na po siya. Then dito po kasi nakalagay 4 sets. Clarify ko lang po for 1 set lang po siya per every drilling rig. Pati po yung sa PPEs and yung engine hydraulic oil and fire extinguisher. So,
thank you, sir.
Good morning po. Yes po, may typographical error lang siya, sir. So, kailangan kasi sa isang one holes unit, kailangan 1 set lang po siya. Minimum lang. So, lahat po dito sa complete tool set, sa burst CPEs, and 20 liters capacity fire extinguisher.
So how many sets are we going to
One set,
indicate? So one set for complete tool, one set for PPE,
yes,
one set for 20-liter capacity, and one set for extinguisher, right?
yes, sir.
May I request our secretariat that has reflect this correction in our issuance of bulletin, supplemental paid bulletin.
Noted, sir. Any more question?
Are we clarified po? Any further question from or clarification from our prospective suppliers?
Good morning po, I'm from Radian Salana. Questions lang po, yung regarding po dito sa mud pump, ito po ba, itong drilling water pump system, ito po yung one set ng mud pump? From page 31. Tapos yung mga rods po natin, wala pong sizes po siya. Ano pong sizes?
Water pump, no?
Apo.
Yeah. 30 grams.
Ito po ba, isang set po ng mud pump lahat? So, kasi water pump po yung nakalagay dito.
Let's be clarified. Yes, ma'am.
One set per unit pa rin.
One set per unit. So how many sets?
3 sets.
3 sets.
Ay, 3 units ito.
3 units. 3 units. One per unit. No? Tama ma? Tama?
Yes.
Kasi nakapang
Built-in siya. Built-in. Also, built-in. Yeah. Okay. Pero built-in water pumps.
water pump po talaga ang hindi mud pump.
Check mo yung first specs natin. Drilling or water pump system. Preferably, built-in water pump system with water, mud, or circulation. So, one purpose ba ito? Water and mud.
What are impact of that billion po?
I see.
Wag yan po. Kaya na naman. Isang
Kasi yung water pump ano kahit imad eh.
Siguro po, water or mud recirculation, nasa spec siya. So but to clear this up again, may we request our end user to please clarify to this, we clarify now, please. Tama na.
Sir, okay lang ba yung water? Wala hindi na yung mud.
as per specs ng VRS siya. Yung sa VRS.
Let's
Mas clear yung ano may.
let's solicit ideas from other prospective supplier.
Good morning po. From Tesla Engineering po kami. As a supplier po, we suggest you do both po. Kasi drilling and water. Kasi once nag-drill tayo, po natin alam may pwede siya sa tubig. May tubig na siya or may mud din siya. So, better po we can do both.
And then, nasa specs naman or better. Nakalagay ng overall. But our intention here is to function both water and land. So are we planning on to?
Ito pong draining unit na to, question, for water well or for other, ano to? For deep well,
Ano yung
for surface exploration.
Any more queries, sir? Ma'am? Yung specs nakalagay dito, yung NQ bit lahat. So that NQ bit, without compressor po kayo magkabit. The page number 33. So all the drilling bit, whatever mentioned, that is NQ bit. Core bit. Yan, nasa taas na po.
Thank you.
So this all drilling bit that will be required compressor also to use. Yung NQ integrated core bit and diamond remer shell. Yung NQ map that will be used with the compressor, without compressor.
Without
Without compressor. Okay. And dito sa yung AW rod 1.5 meter, walang diameter, yung pinaka-post item. Sa same page, yung pinaka-post item. Sa taas po. Yan, AW rod 1.5 meter ang haba. Pero yung diameter, yung set na dahil 1 meter, pero walang diameter.
One and a half.
Let's be specific po. Hindi na lang natin. Ano hindi na lang natin? 1.5. Yung sa atin lang yung mga bawin na lang. Kasi ito may STND 2113 yung bigyan ng balya. Bigyan ng PRS. Kaya dyan magbabase yan sa STND 2113. Yung diameter.
Sa ESPN, balik mag-
Oo. Malaki pa naman yung natin babase tayo. Kaya STND 2113. That was fixed familiar. Okay. Kita doon sa any further clarification?
Thank you very much for your attendance and participation. So from our observers, if they're in already. Wala. So I think we're through with our agenda for today. So thank you very much again for your attendance and participation on this bid opening and private conference. There being no other questions on this presented to contracts, we will be proceeding on the presentation of the project details for the civil works. And your next is what? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's proceed to the presentation of the project details for the civil works.
So for the prepaid conference, for the civil works, we have contract ID number 25A00549, the construction of tissue culture facility laboratory. 25A00550, emergency repair restoration of damaged slope protection along Pangasinan-NUEVA VIZCAYA Road. Kilometer 213 plus 90 to kilometer 213 plus 120. Kilometer 220 plus 740 to kilometer 220 plus 750. Kilometer 220 plus 987 to kilometer 221 plus 023. 25A00551, emergency repair restoration of damaged slope protection along Pangasinan-NUEVA VIZCAYA Road, kilometer 2224 plus 625 to kilometer 224 plus 665. Kilometer 225 plus 565 to kilometer 225 plus 577. Kilometer 225 plus 900 to kilometer 225 plus 930.
Kailangan na ito. Kailangan sana. Sakto ka.
The purpose of PREBID conference is to discuss, clarify, and explain the different aspects of the projects of the procuring entity with the prospective bidders. It must be held at least 12 calendar days before the deadline for bid submission, but not earlier than 7 calendar days from the advertisement or posting of bid opportunity.
So we are the following contract data for 25A00549, location Mariano Marcos State University, Batak Campus, Ilocos Norte. With the emission of 19,300,000 for the scope of work, installation, project billboard, signboard, earthworks, site development works, concrete works, steel works, supply installation of modular partition, plumbing works, roofing works, fabrication of doors and windows, tile works, mastering and plastering works, painting works, supply installation of aluminum cladding, ceiling works, electrical works, supply installation of generator, supply installation of CCTV system, supply installation of air conditioning system, supply installation of fire extinguisher, supply installation of fire alarm system. The contract duration of 150 calendar days. 25A00550, location San Nicolas, Pangasinan, with the ABC of 47,835,050 pesos. For the scope of works of earthworks, clearing gramming, structure excavation, construction of road slope protection, steel sheet pile, wall and with anchor, construction of grounded riprap, class A, as slope protection facing, concreting of Portland concrete cement pavement, thickness of 280 mm, for one lane carriageway with a width of 3.05 meter, and one lane shoulder with a width of 2.0 meter, and installation of metal beam, guardrail with metal beam and piece, bull nose, and provision of low density, controlled low strength material, concrete fill as alternative material to embankment fill, with a contract duration of 230 calendar days. 25A00551, location San Nicolas, Pangasinan, with the ABC of 47,699,950 pesos. For the scope of work, should be earthworks, clearing gramming, structure excavation, construction of road slope protection, steel sheet pile, wall with anchor, construction of grouted riprap, class A as slope protection facing, concreting of Portland concrete cement pavement, thickness of 280 mm, for one lane carriageway with a width of 3.05 meter, and one lane shoulder with a width of 2.0 meter, and installation of metal beam guardrail with metal beam and piece, bull nose, and provision of low density Controlled low-strength material, concrete fill as alternative material to embankment fill, with a contract duration of 250 calendar days.
Submission Supplemental Bid Bulletin issued by BAC to answer requests for clarification, questions before deadline, or interpretation, and upon BAC's initiative to clarify or modify any provision of bidding documents at least 7 calendar days before deadline for bids. Posted in FieldJEP's and procuring entity's website and at any conspicuous place within the premises of the procuring entity. Bidders who have submitted bids before the issuance of supplemental bid bulletin must be informed in writing and allowed to modify or withdraw their respective bids. Submission and receipt of bids. Checklist of technical documents Class A. Legal documents. Valid FieldJEP's registration certificate, Platinum membership, in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the IRR. Per GPPB Resolution Number 18-2017, in lieu of the Class A eligibility documents, which were uploaded and maintained current and updated in FieldJEP's, bidders are required to submit their FieldJEP's certificate of registration during bid submission in the case infrastructure projects, pursuant to Section 25.2 BI of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. Additional for the checklist of technical documents, Class A technical documents. Statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid, and statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules, and special pickup license in case of joint ventures, and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Original copy of bid security. If in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Bid validity period: 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. Bid security validity period: 120 calendar days from the date of submission of bids. The bidder shall submit a bid securing declaration or any form of bid security enumerated below. Cash or cashier's manager check issued by a universal or commercial bank, 2%. Bank draft or guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit issued by a universal or commercial bank, 2%. And surety bond called the PAN demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, 5%. Project requirements which shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. List of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to DPWH Department Order No. 11, Series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment. Original duly signed Omnibus Sworn Statement or OSS and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the omnibus sworn statement and do acts to represent the bidder. For the financial documents, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, computation of NFCC of at least equal to ABC, computed using the prescribed formula. NFCC equals current assets minus current liabilities times 15 minus value of unfinished projects, including awarded projects not yet started, coinciding with the contract to be bid. Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the joint venture agreement in the instance that the bid is successful. Checklist of financial documents. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and other documentary requirements under RA number 9184. Original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. Duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid, and cash flow by quarter. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically or online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. Similar to manual submission, the guidelines for the preparation and submission of an electronic bid are contained in Bid Data Sheet, ITB Clause 17, and Department Order Number 87, Series of 2020. Bid Evaluation. The financial component of the bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid prices. The BAC shall automatically disqualify any total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. The following factors are to be considered in the evaluation of the bid prices. Completeness. No price in required item equals non-complying. Indicating a 0 or a dash equals free to the GOP. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including where applicable BOQ, shall be considered non-responsive. Arithmetical corrections. Bid prices in figures versus words prevails. Total price versus unit price per item, unit price prevails. Total price versus actual sum of component items, actual prevails. Unit cost in detailed estimate versus unit cost in BOQ, the latter prevails. If above ABC, non-complying. Post-qualification. Verification of legal requirements. Licenses, certificates, permits, non-inclusion in blacklist. For technical requirements, single largest completed contract or SLCC, similar to the contract. Key personnel, minimum work experience requirements should be satisfied. Availability and commitment of major construction equipment. Failure of the prospective bidder to state a complete technical description of the pledged equipment and the specific location, whether owned, leased, or under purchased agreement, shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification for award of contract and forfeiture of its bid security per DO number 58, Series of 2012. Performance in ongoing government and private contracts. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or negative slippage of at least 10% in each of two or more contracts. failure of the contractor to commence repair work and complete ongoing contracts in the prescribed date after receipt of the notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificate of acceptance in the prescribed date after the receipt of the notice of defects and failures. Substandard quality of works or unsatisfactory performance per contract term and conditions at the time of inspection. Liquidated damages currently imposed on the contractor. DO number 127 series of 2018, strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of the post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contract with DPWH. Authenticity and correctness of bid security. For financial requirements, audited financial statement or AFS, especially current assets and liabilities. Up-to-date value of all outstanding or uncompleted works under ongoing and awarded contracts. Updated NFCC versus ABC. Requirements within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the back that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid or highest rated bid. The bidder shall submit to the back the following: registration certificate from SEC, Department of Trade and Industry, for sole proprietorship or CDA for cooperatives. Mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. Latest income tax and business returns duly stamped and received by BIR and duly validated with the tax payments. Tax clearance per EO 398 series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Valid Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of this IRR. Notes on the personnel and equipment requirements of the project. As per DO number 9 series of 2012, technical requirements for civil works projects for public bidding. If a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the same time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. The bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. These certifications shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. Also to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. If any equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. For the contract award, the contract shall be awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated and responsive bid as a result of the detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. The successful bidder shall be notified through the issuance of notice of award within the bid validity period and must be confirmed by the successful bidder in writing within 10 days. 2.16 revised IRR of RA 9184. Common reason rejection of bids in of bidder. Failure to submit original copy of the surety bond, certified by the Insurance Commission indicating the name of project, the procuring entity, and name of contractor. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. Overlapping of pledged equipment and committed key technical personnel. Failure to indicate the validity of bid in the bid form. Late submission of bid. Failure to submit supporting documents like certification of availability of equipments from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project if equipment pledged is to be leased or purchased. Negative slippage in the ongoing projects, negative 15% or more, or negative 10% in each of 2 or more ongoing projects. Unsatisfactory CPAS rating. Technical and financial. Authority of the signatory to sign on behalf of the bidder. For single proprietor, signatory should be the owner or proprietor only. For corporation or cooperative, board secretary certificate and board resolution. For joint venture resolution or agreement. And for partnership, as indicated in the articles of partnership.
For these projects, 25A00549, 25A00550, and 25A00551. The deadline for submission of clarifications, 10 days for submission of bids. The deadline of submission of bids is on July 21, 2025 at 10 o'clock AM. Number of copies of bid proposal, one original copy of the technical and financial bid. For the case of submission of bids, second floor conference room, DPWH Regional Office 1, City of San Fernando, California. So that ends the presentation of the bid conference for the 3 city works.
Thank you, Renier. I think that's the last activity for today. And there being no other matters, the proceeding is now adjourned. So thank you very much for attendance.